Have you ever heard the legend of the haunted island on Shoals Lake? It's a story that's been whispered among local fishermen for generations. A chilling tale that will make you think twice about night fishing on these waters. Way out in the middle of the lake, there used to be an island, and on that island stood a grand old mansion. The story goes that when the White River was dammed to create the lake back in the 40s, a family who lived in that mansion refused to leave. They loved their home so much, they couldn't bear to part with it, even as the waters rose higher and higher, eventually swallowing the land and their house whole. They drowned, trapped in the home they loved. Ever since, their spirits are said to haunt the lake. The legend says that on certain nights, the island mysteriously reappears. And when it does, a single eerie light glows from a window on the top floor of the old mansion, right around midnight. It's a strange, otherworldly light that shines out across the dark water, a beacon that seems to beckon those who see it. They say this light has an irresistible pull, especially for night fishermen. They find themselves drawn to it, their boats inexplicably steering towards the island, unable to fight the ghostly compulsion. One moonless night, a group of friends were out on the lake, enjoying some late-night fishing. Suddenly, they spotted a faint, flickering light in the distance. At first, they thought it was another boat, but as they watched, it grew steadier, brighter. A strange curiosity took hold of them, and before they knew it, their boat was gliding silently towards the source of the light. As they got closer, the silhouette of an island emerged from the darkness, and on it, a massive, decrepit mansion loomed against the night sky. The light was coming from a single window on the top floor, casting a sickly, pale glow. Fear prickled their skin, but the pull was too strong to resist. They felt compelled to investigate. They moored their boat and cautiously stepped onto the soggy ground of the island. The air was heavy, thick with the smell of damp earth and decay. As they approached the mansion, the enormous front doors creaked open on their own, as if inviting them in. Hesitantly, they stepped inside. The interior was cavernous and empty, coated in a thick layer of dust and draped in cobwebs. A strange, oppressive silence hung in the air, so heavy it felt like a physical weight. It was a dead silence, yet it felt like the house was watching them. The hairs on the back of their necks stood on end. Then they heard it, the soft, slow creak of footsteps echoing from the floor above them. The sound was distinct, yet there was no one there. Whispers seemed to slither from the shadows, swirling around them, the words unintelligible, but filled with a sense of sorrow and anger. The temperature in the room plummeted, and they could see their own breath misting in the air. Suddenly, a figure materialized at the top of the grand staircase. It was the apparition of a woman, her form shimmering and translucent. She was dressed in old-fashioned clothing from a bygone era, her face pale and gaunt. But it was her eyes that froze them with terror. They burned with an angry, accusing glare, filled with a deep, ancient hatred. An icy chill washed over them, so cold it felt like it was seeping into their very bones. That was all it took. Panic seized them, and they turned and ran. They scrambled out of the mansion, not daring to look back, and fumbled to untie their boat. They sped away from the island as fast as their motor would carry them. The image of the ghostly woman burned into their minds. The next morning, shaken but curious, they decided to go back in the daylight. They motored out to the exact spot where they had seen the island, but there was nothing there. Just the wide, open water of Shoals Lake, the island, the mansion, and the ghostly light had all vanished as if they had never existed. All that remained was a lingering sense of deep unease and a story they would never forget. The legend of the haunted island lives on, a cautionary tale for anyone who ventures out onto the dark, eerie waters of Shoals Lake at night. So if you're ever out there and see a mysterious light, maybe it's best to just turn your boat around and head for shore. Thanks for watching. If you love spooky legends like this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our next story. Stay safe out there.